Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village nestled among rolling green hills, there lived a very hard-working farmer. His days began before the sun even thought about peeking over the horizon. Every single morning, he would rise from his bed, stretch his tired muscles, and begin a long journey. He had to walk a considerable distance to a distant well to fetch fresh drinking water for his family. It was a daily ritual, a path he knew by heart. To carry the water, he used 2 large clay pots. These weren't just any pots. They were his trusted companions on this daily trek. He would tie each pot to the opposite ends of a sturdy wooden stick. Then, he'd carefully lift the stick and place it across his broad shoulders, balancing the weight as he began his walk back home. Now, these 2 pots were not the same. One of them was perfect. It was flawlessly crafted, smooth to the touch, and held every single drop of water from the well all the way back to the farmer's house. It stood tall and proud, a symbol of its own perfection. The other pot, however, had a story of its own. It had a small, almost unnoticeable crack running down its side. This tiny imperfection meant that as the farmer walked, water would slowly but surely drip, drip, drip onto the dusty path. By the time the farmer arrived home, this pot would only be half full. The journey was long, and the crack was unforgiving. For 2 long years, this was the farmer's routine. Every day, he would return home with 1.5 pots of water. The perfect pot, gleaming and full, was always immensely proud of its accomplishment. It felt it was serving its purpose flawlessly, fulfilling its duty to the farmer without any shortcomings. But its pride often turned into arrogance. Every day, without fail, it would look over at its companion and make fun of the cracked pot. It saw the trail of water left behind and saw it as a sign of failure. The perfect pot believed it was superior and never missed an opportunity to point out the other's flaw. One morning, as they were being filled at the well, the perfect pot turned to the cracked pot, its voice dripping with scorn. "Just look at yourself," it said, its words sharp and cutting. "You are completely useless. Every single day, half of the water you're supposed to carry is gone before we even get close to home. The farmer does all that work, and you waste half of it. What? A shame." The cracked pot didn't say a word. It heard the insult, felt the sting of the words, but it remained silent. It absorbed the criticism just as it absorbed the water, knowing that some of it would inevitably leak out. It held back its sadness, trying to be strong, but the constant criticism was beginning to take its toll. Day after day, the cycle continued. The farmer would walk, the water would leak, and the perfect pot would tease. "Still leaking, I see," it would scoff. Or, "I wonder why the farmer even bothers with you." And every single time, the cracked pot would stay quiet, its silence a shield against the endless taunts. Slowly, but surely, the little cracked pot began to believe the words. It started to feel worthless, a burden to the kind farmer who worked so hard. It looked at its own reflection in the water and saw only its flaw, the crack that defined its existence. The shame grew heavier with each passing day, heavier than the water it was meant to carry. It felt it was failing in its one and only purpose. Finally, one day, it couldn't bear the weight of its emotions any longer. The sadness, the shame, the feeling of utter worthlessness, it all came bubbling to the surface. As the farmer was about to lift the pots onto his shoulders for the journey home, the cracked pot decided it had to speak. With a voice trembling with sorrow, it called out to the farmer. "I am so sorry," it whispered, the words barely audible. "I have to apologize to you." The farmer, a kind and gentle man, was surprised. He gently set the pots down and knelt beside the cracked one. "Apologize? What for?" he asked, his voice filled with genuine curiosity. "For all this time," the pot continued, its voice breaking, "I have only been able to deliver half of my water. This crack in my side, it makes the water leak out all the way back to your house. Because of my flaw, you do all this work. You walk this long path every day, and you don't get the full value for your efforts. You only get half of what you should. I am a failure." The farmer listened patiently, a soft smile gracing his lips. He looked at the pot with compassion, not with disappointment. When it finished, he patted it gently. "My dear friend, Said warmly. Did you happen to notice the path we walk on every day? The pot was confused. The path. I suppose so. I see it every day. But did you really look at it? The farmer insisted. On our way back tomorrow, I want you to pay very close attention to the side of the path that you are on. The next morning, as they made their way back from the well, the cracked pot did as the farmer had asked. It focused its attention on its side of the path. And for the first time, it saw something truly beautiful. All along its side of the dusty trail, there was a vibrant line of wildflowers. Bright reds, deep purples, and sunny yellows bloomed in a stunning display of color and life. The sun shone down on them, and butterflies danced from petal to petal. It was a breathtaking sight. But on the other side of the path, where the perfect pot traveled, there was nothing. Just dry, barren earth. When they reached home, the farmer set the pots down and turned to the cracked pot. "Did you see the flowers on your side of the path?" he asked, his eyes twinkling. The pot nodded, still a little confused. "Yes, they were beautiful. But I still only brought you half a pot of water." The farmer smiled. "That's because of you," he explained. "I have always known about your crack. I saw it as an opportunity. So I planted flower seeds all along your side of the path, and every day, as we walk by, you have been watering them. For 2 years, I have been able to pick these beautiful flowers to decorate my home and to give to my wife. Without you being exactly the way you are, we would not have this beauty to grace our lives." The cracked pot was speechless. All this time it had seen itself as broken and useless, focusing only on its flaw. It never realized that its imperfection was the very thing that was creating so much beauty and joy. The farmer didn't see a flaw. He saw a unique quality that he could use to make the world a more beautiful place. From that day on, the cracked pot never felt shame again. It understood that everyone has their own unique flaws. We are all cracked pots, in our own way, but it is the cracks and the flaws we each have that make our lives together so interesting and rewarding. You just have to take each person for what they are and look for the good in them. This story is a wonderful reminder for all of us. Sometimes, we get so focused on our own perceived weaknesses and shortcomings that we forget to see the good that can come from them. What you might see as a flaw, someone else might see as a unique strength. Your cracks might be watering flowers you can't even see. So, embrace your imperfections. They are part of what makes you, you. Don't compare yourself to the perfect pots around you. Everyone is on their own journey, and everyone has something special to offer the world, often because of, not in spite of, their flaws. Your unique qualities, quirks, and even your mistakes are what allow you to bring your own special kind of beauty into the world. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. And remember, be kind to yourself. You are wonderful, cracks and all. See you in the next video.